David, thank you very much for being here at the MBIO Café in Stuttgart.
Thank you for having me.
You are one of the top thought leaders in clean energy and in the e-mobility sector. And it is for sure today a very interesting and important topic.
Sure.
But tell us a little bit more, what is driving you? How did you engage personally in that topic?
Yeah, I guess a short version, I've always had an interest in the environment and been very much an outdoors sort of person, and fortunately in about 2007 I found the opportunity to engage my personal passions around the environment with business. So I engaged in first a renewable energy business, which was very successful, and then combined it back with my earlier career in executive search, and now work with organizations and startups around the world looking to find talents to enable the clean energy revolution. The podcast I have around This Week in Cleantech also is around driving and learning around startups and corporations who are moving this agenda, the clean mobility agenda, the clean energy agenda.
Yeah, okay. And if we would now fast forward to 2030, at this point, what does e-mobility look like in your perspective?
So 2030 is a big challenge, of
Yeah.
course. But
It's only in about 11 years from now.
Yeah, but you know how fast things are moving in the
That's
sector
true.
now. It's crazy. So certainly I don't see many people see that the evolution is to basically replace combustion engines with electric vehicles. I think that is only the very start of the journey. I think the way people will transport themselves is an entirely different platform. Of course we have, which we can talk around sort of autonomous vehicles coming, but even before that I think we're looking at mobility as a service, again, which will be very familiar with how people engage with transport. I think ownership will change. I think there will probably be less vehicles. Whether they're autonomously driven or not is another debate by 2030.
What would you guess?
I would say yes. I would say by mid-20s, I think there will be, at least in some scenarios, autonomous taxis, autonomous commercial vehicles.
Okay. We often talk for this mobility change and also the digitization demands a lot of companies to really kind of rethink or to think different.
Yes.
We are all searching for new talents. We hire them. We try to seek for the best for sure. And what is your point of view about this war of talent? Is there a war of talent?
For sure.
How do you experience that? And could you give us an indication what is your personal point of view?
Yeah, of course. I think in a situation where everything is iterating and changing fast, there is not so many people who have experience in these new digital worlds. And then of course you have competition from e-mobility, from the digitization of energy, and of course then fintech and banking and all these other areas are all looking for those people who can work in an agile way, who understand the dynamics of digitization, and also hopefully have some experience within the market, whether that's mobility or automotive or energy. So the talent pool is very small, and everybody wants those same talents, and that makes a big challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you recommend to those talents, or rather also to the companies?
Yeah, I think to the companies, it really is look at how you engage and interact with those talents, to understand and recognize that you are in this war for talent, and to be a winner you have to be an attractive place to work. Attract people in the first instance and then retain people in the right fashion. So it's really not business as usual. I think it's more difficult for larger organizations, although some do it very well. But for some corporations to not do that, this is how we do it thinking, is a challenge. And that's the advantage that startups have, or people who are in the sort of startup ecosystem, whether that's acquired by a larger organization, but they can create the culture from new. They can introduce flexibility and things which are difficult within a larger organization. So for example, we're currently working with a US company out of the Google Moonshot factory called Malta, and they, for example, have no holiday period limits. So you go on holiday when you want. It's down to you to be responsible as to how you do that. But of course, if you're a corporation, how can you roll that out to tens of thousands of people? A big challenge. So there are other things that corporates can do to make themselves more attractive to typically younger talent, not always the case of course, but people who want to work in a more flexible way. They want to work in a company and an organization that has impact. I think these are key things. People want challenge, they want to make an impact, they want to know that there's a purpose behind the business. I think these are big changes. Having been in sort of headhunting since '92, a long time, with a lot of grey hair, that's been the big change. People no longer really are purely focused on careers or on what they're doing. It's a case of, why am I doing this? What is my company looking to achieve? Can I buy into the vision of the organization and the purpose?
Have you heard about our definition of our purpose? First move the world, Dieter Zetsche announced it a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Any evaluation or more or less simple feedback from your side?
The challenges of all these large organizations, and Daimler in particular, along with other automotive, everything is shifting in terms of your market and how the world moves. But again, I think that's been articulated very well. I think some of the product launches, the ECU product launch was done very well. I think the brand has, from my perspective, done well to present itself as a more innovative and exciting place to be, that you are looking towards a better world.
At least a place where you can drive or move the world in a way.
Yeah. This is so critical. I think people don't really understand is people no longer just want to work for the money. Or some people do, but very few. People want to know, what am I doing? What can I tell my children? What can I tell myself when I go to sleep at night? What am I doing in my daily work that makes the world a better place?
That's true. David, thank you very much
It's been a pleasure
for having accepted this invitation. You're here in the midst of the Embajão, our digital factory for Mercedes-Benz cars. And thanks again. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you.